So I'm here for TV 786, and D. Kuntawala has won the Asian Leadership Young Entrepreneur of the Year at the Asian Who's Who International here at the Dorchester. Yours was the very first prize that was awarded, so obviously a very, very significant one. Dee, you are the MD of DVK, and could you tell us a little bit about your experience, please?
Thank you, Rani. Yes, my experience so far to date, my background's been investment banking and commodity trading, and over the years I've got involved in commodity trading in quite a substantial way, and it's all sort of evolved towards private equity. So my background's private equity and trade commodity finance.
And tell me, you've got a very powerful family history and pedigree, Dee. Tell me about them and where they were.
Yes. My grandfather we originated from Gujarat, and my family moved from Gujarat over to the African sort of continent, and we first settled in Mozambique, and then we moved to Zambia. Kabwe is a small town. We grew up in Kabwe, and then we moved here to England. So the family background's always been in business, and that's since 1910. So that's again in trade, commodity finance, and property. So it's a family with quite strong values, and it's been of great influence in the way that we operate our business and our future vision.
So in other words, it's sort of a younger version of the Tatars in a way, but starting in Africa.
Something to aspire to. We'd love to Ratan Tatas, somebody who really is very inspiring to me, somebody who I very, admire. I admire him a lot. So something to aspire to.
And I understand that your family and you have very strong ethical values.
Yeah, so, as part of our ethos and core values of our business, we don't really get involved in the financing of tobacco or dealing in tobacco, meat or alcohol products, which is very attractive to the Middle East. We've been very successful in the Middle East. They've considered that very in line with the Sharia style of business. So, we have those sort of core principles within our business, which, again, we hold on to as part of our core values.
I understand that you've got certain values yourself. You don't drink alcohol.
Yes, I don't. I've never drunk alcohol. I know. I come from the investment banking background, and that sort of industry is quite sort of renowned for the alcohol, evening de-stress sessions, but I've never really got involved in that, and it's something that I've, lived by, and it's been influenced by my family values and family core sort of ethos. So.
You travel around an awful lot, Dee. You've got a wife here in London and a baby son. You spend half your working week at the Gherkin in central London. You have some very powerful operations going on, especially in the Middle East. Could you tell our audience a little bit about that?
Yeah, sure. Recently, over the last 1 year, we've set up a presence and an office and a team in Kenya, Malawi, Russia, Saudi Arabia. These are all sort of new ventures in Madrid, South Africa. And yes, I do travel a lot. I leave on a Sunday evening, and half of my week is abroad somewhere. And I do a lot of business whilst traveling, on the plane. In Saudi Arabia, we've luckily got Your Royal Highness, one of the princes of Saudi Arabia, as a non-exec chair of our new venture in Saudi. Which has been very powerful for us to get very bankable projects, which has really sort of lifted our business and stepped up our game. And it's the real thrust behind the massive expansion, and what we have planned for the next 5 years is expansion into all different sectors, industries, and our the whole global footprint. So it's a very exciting future, and they're sort of very supportive in what we have as a vision, a joint vision. So we recently merged with a Saudi organization. We're getting great sort of projects, political, projects which effectively are very bankable within the sovereign arena.
How much of your business is with Saudi Arabia now?
It was about 5 months ago, probably about 5%. In the next 3 months, it'll portion 80% of our business. So in terms of volume, in terms of bandwidth, in terms of depth, most of the projects will emanate from Saudi, from infrastructure, from commodity trading of petroleum products, gas, the fuel-related products. We would see, a lot of agro transactions coming out of Saudi, stemming out of Saudi, and Saudi Arabia is very well respected around the world for their widespread contacts and links, which has been, it's going to be fantastic for us to grow our business.
And in terms of DVK's growth, you have already been in the emerging markets for some time. Other people are just jumping on the bandwagon now. So how does that give DVK an advantage, Dee?
It's a great point. Because I was born in Zambia and I studied investment banking. So I worked within the investment banking arena. I studied finance. I had industry experience in the finance sector. I grew up as a little boy, and I grew up within my father's business and what my grandfather had built. And most of my family are in the trading business. So I've been very fortunate in getting exposure to both sides of the fence. And around me, I've had very successful property, real estate dealers. And so a lot of them become stakeholders in our business. And I feel very fortunate in that sense to have had that experience. And so by trading, the very nature of trading is international, and that's given me great exposure to lots of countries. And I think that the key competitive advantage is know-how and having that sort of understanding and perspective of both sides of the fence. I've been an employee, I've been a partner, I've been a borrower, I've been a lender. We've co-invested, we've merged, we've acquired, we've sold businesses, we've created investment funds. So, to have that holistic, exposure is fantastic. And it's not just been in one geographic region, it's been pretty international. And therefore, part of our ethos in our business is to partner with our client. And by partnering with our client, one needs to have the understanding of what their needs are, and understanding and listening. And I feel that that's a key USP to our business, and we're now ensuring that everybody within our business has that approach. Is partner with our client and partner with the people that we work with, create this institution of strong relationships with our clients, and that's how we've grown.
And what would you say the ethics and values of the whole business are now, as you're taking it forward? You're the next generation, really.
Yeah, I think there's two things: to build an ecosystem that gives back. And so number one, that's one of our guiding principles, which is let's do something that supports and adds value to everybody. We deal in the commodity of capital, money, and so money we feel is not the driver. That's, if somebody said, well, here's £10 million, make sure you're at Victoria Station at 4 a.m. tomorrow, it wouldn't make the slightest difference, because it's not the money that would make us go there. I do that out of passion anyway. I would get up at 4 o'clock anyway. So it's not got nothing to do with the money. The money follows the passion. And so what we instill in our business is passion. And love what we do, love what we're going to be doing, and love what we have done, and And by doing that, you know, everything else follows. It's that law of attraction, and it starts with that vision. And we've always lived by that. You know, it's firstly to visualize what our goals are, and then to actually have great belief that we can achieve them, and then actually have that full faith and create that action plan. So we call it actualize, you know, and we refer to it as actualization. And so we're very clear on our vision, we communicate our vision, and we effectively market our vision. And that's how we get that binding commitment from so many different stakeholders, and then we propel forward on that basis. So so there's a very deep-rooted positive ethos in our business. You know, it doesn't really matter what challenge we face or what obstacles come in our way, we think, how are we going to overcome them? And the buzz is all about overcoming and moving forward. So we enjoy the challenges as well. You know.
Is there anything finally you want to say to the audience about your business, about you?
Yes, very much so. I would like to, you know, somebody referred to my grandfather and my father, and they referred to my family roots, and I would say there are lots of things that have influenced our achievements, and everything's influenced our progress. And it's been, you know, the subconscious impression from my grandfather, my father, my uncles, my peer groups. It's the support of shareholders, stakeholders, team members, family. Everybody's had a contribution towards our success, and to keep going forward, you know, it's this whole team approach to moving forward. And I would say that, you know, without all of that support, we couldn't have really reached this stage. And really, I see this as just lighting the actual flame, and this is the beginning of our journey. It's not even the achievement yet. This is just the beginning. It's the lighting of the flame, and I'm very passionate and very much looking forward to, you know, effectively, you know, moving forward in our journey. And I see it as it's the journey that we should enjoy. It's not. There's no destination. It is a journey, and you know, there'll be bends, there'll be falls, there'll be times where we you know, rise, and it's just enjoy the journey.
D. Kuntawala, a worthy prize winner. Thank you very much for talking to us.
Thank you, Rani. Thank you, everyone. Thank you.